is a young, ambitious farmer. He works with goats on a 23-hectare farm in Belgium. Almost every day during the grazing period, the goats will travel to the pastures where they eat to their heart's content. On rainy days and during the non-grazing period, they receive hay and concentrates in the stable. Their milk is made into cheese and sold directly on the market and to local entrepreneurs. However, there is always room for improvement, and Vincent has wishes for the future of the farm. One of those wishes includes producing directly for human consumption. Currently, the land use efficiency is low due to the animal-based farming. Converting crops into milk and then into cheese is relatively inefficient compared to growing crops directly for human consumption. Therefore, Vincent would like to include food crops both to increase efficiency and to diversify his income. For that, naked oats seem to be a promising candidate. Another thing that we noticed is that the corners of the fields are difficult to mow and harvest with the combine harvester. This leads to unnecessary compaction because he has to drive back and forth, and it also leads to a loss of hay. We have investigated how to realize these wishes and tackle these problems. While doing that, we have kept in mind the autonomy of the farm, which is central in Vincent's vision, and the objective to reduce labor so that more time will be available for leisure.
So we can see that Vincent is doing, as far as profit is concerned, relatively good. He has also a good self-reliance rate. And on this system, he's currently not growing any naked oats. So we come up to our scenario and we can see that in overall, he has a better operational profit with return. He has some more free time for himself, and he also gained in self-reliance. Now he has 2.8 hectares with these naked oats on his farm. So in total, we can see that he has a better autonomy from the previous model. He has also been able to gain more leisure time, have more profit, and the goats are still in good health, so we could improve dry matter and structure.
Well, we know that Vincent wants to have flakes of oats to sell directly to the consumers, and to get there you first need to remove the husk, and then you also need to give them a heating treatment to avoid the gain of rancidity and also to store it a bit longer. We think it is possible, but on a short term it's going to be difficult because the machinery is quite expensive, time consuming and knowledge consuming as well. We tried to contact many organic mills, some close by and some organic ones, but most of the organic and little processors in the surrounding are more focused on grinding oats to flour and not to flakes. The initial project is to replace 1 year of the cereal mix by simple naked oats, which in the soil and the fertility point of view doesn't make a big difference. Vincent is confident to have a big demand for flakes of oats, and according to our calculations it would make a much bigger turnover than just producing goat cheese.
So we were wondering, how could we make this a better situation? Well, introducing Caragana arborescens, or better known as the Siberian pea shrub. Now, the Siberian pea shrub is a bushy-like leguminous nitrogen fixer, and pollinators really love it. So it's a great plant for these kinds of things. And on top of that, the plant is really, really strong. Even when you cut it back, the plant will regrow into a smaller bush and grow up to be that in a few years. Now we were wondering if we could just plant maybe one or a few of those plants here, then it would be great, because Vincent, he can just take his tractor, and it would save him time and effort. It might even help with the decompaction of certain corners of the soil. And we think that is pretty smooth. On permanent pastures, the goats would love to come and eat this plant. But then we asked ourselves the questions. If the goats do eat it down, how much food are they really getting? Well, it turns out the goats are only getting about 170 grams per goat per year. So, in conclusion,
Including naked oats is a good idea.
But it all depends on finding a way to process it.
It will free up some time so Vincent can spend more time experimenting. For example, the fish should eat the corners.